techniques of the from South, because for everything they fall back on the language issue. Because the state of Tamil Nadu is in such a bad shape. There's hatred in the street, there's frustration, and law and order is so miserable. So get back to the language issue, hoping that you would garner more support on this issue. Second, Priyanka Gandhi has no clue on the bill yet. The bill is being distributed. Let us study the thing properly. Unlike her brother, she should show some interest in the legislation and try and understand the intricacies involved in this and how it is better than the scheme which they converted into a corrupt and money I shouldn't use the word money laundering, but I should say that a lot of loot has happened, and that loot has to be prevented, and that's in the interest of our people. So please read the bill, then come out in reaction, and don't do this whole business of narrative building. And narratives have fallen apart from quite some time, and these attempts to build narratives are still going on.
Okay. All right, Mr. Vadakan, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your views here on CNN News 18. With that, we go into a very short break. News and updates continue on the broadcast.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Story that we are tracking is, of course, the deportation of the Luthra brothers. As we speak, a team of officials from Central Bureau of Investigation and Indian Embassy are there at the Bangkok airport to ensure deportation of the Luthra brothers. They're expected to land here in Delhi post-noon, and after that, Goa police will take custody.
Okay, and staying with the big story that we have been tracking, that is the return of the Luthra brothers, finally should be facing acts as far as that fire in a Goa pub. And there's a quick update which is coming in. Visuals are also coming in first over here on CNN News 18. The Luthras have deported from Bangkok. They've already boarded the flight to India. So that is the big story. Going to land here. They're going to be taken into custody and after that presented in court. In fact, as we go through those pictures, I'm going to be joined in by my colleagues Anvit as well as by Simran. Anvit, if you are with us at this point, if you are with us at this point of time, just can you just run us through the details? The flight has already been boarded by the Luthra brothers. How soon can we expect them here? And what happens thereon? Anvit, if you can hear me. Okay, I'm going to try and go across to Anvit and Simran in a bit, and this is exactly what we have been following after days and days of suspense and much speculation. Well, it's very clear the Luthras are going to be facing the law. They had run away in the wee hours of the morning, even as the fires were being doused at that nightclub in Goa, and now the team was there, and now they are coming back. They are being deported back. Okay, Ananya is now joining us with all these details. Ananya, they're going to be landing. How soon do we expect that? What's the legal procedure after that?
Well, absolutely. In fact, the Luthra brothers whose formality for the deportation from, in fact, Thailand has just been completed yesterday, will now be brought back to India. Remember that they are facing flag for, in fact, the Goa fire. They'll also be facing the consequences as per the law. But the deportation was complete yesterday, which would start at around 10:55 a.m. in the morning as per the Indian Standard Time. And these brothers would now be brought back to India. And that is something, that becomes very, very crucial, because as soon as they land in the national capital, they will be taken to, in fact, most likely to Delhi's Patiala House Court, where, in fact, they will be produced, and the Goa police will be seeking a transit remand to take them to Goa. Once that transit remand is granted, these two brothers will be taken to Goa, where, in fact, this fire had actually occurred, and then the investigation in this case would actually begin. Remember that they had filed an anticipatory bail application. However, the court raised a lot of questions on their conduct, completely saying that they booked their tickets the day when that fire actually broke out, and they ran away from the country. And that is something, that becomes very, very crucial as to why an anticipatory bail was actually not granted to the Luthras as far as this case is concerned. And now in fact, they'll be brought back to India. They will then be arrested by the Goa police and then would be produced before a Delhi court to seek a transit remand. And once that transit remand is granted, they will then be taken to Goa. But very clearly, it is a successful attempt that the Indian...
Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Griha. We are now getting an important piece of breaking news, and this is as per top sources to CNN News 18. We are now learning that the Enforcement Directorate is likely to appeal against the order that has been passed by the Rouse Avenue Court, where they have in fact passed this verdict that this entire plea by the ED as far as the FIR against the Gandhis in this particular National Herald case is not maintainable. And there is an appeal that in all likelihood will be filed against this order by the Rouse Avenue Court, by the Enforcement Directorate. And this is what their legal team is also mentioning to CNN News 18. We're also learning that the team is going to be evaluating the detailed judgment that has been passed by the Rouse Avenue Court, and then they will go on to appeal against this verdict. So this is what we are learning. The temporary respite that has been granted to the Gandhis in the National Herald case will be challenged by the Enforcement Directorate, and the ED will be formulating this fresh appeal to challenge the order by the Rouse Avenue Court. So that is the latest that we are picking up. Remember, we told you about the Enforcement Directorate's plea that has been deemed not maintainable in the Rouse Avenue Court, but that will be challenged by the ED is what we are learning at the moment. My colleague Ananya Bhatnagar with all the latest as far as this is concerned. Ananya, this was what the conjecture really was, that ED is eventually going to be challenging this particular verdict by the Rouse Avenue Court. The grounds, however, that you're learning of that the ED is going to do that. Do tell us.
Well, absolutely. In fact, the ED's legal team would actually be considering the particular judgment. They would be going into the facts and circumstance of that particular judgment. They would be reading it fully and then would be analyzing as to what would be the grounds of in fact, the challenge to this particular appeal that's been filed by, that is to be filed by the Enforcement Directorate challenging this particular order of the Rouse Avenue Court. Not only that, what is also very, very relevant and important to note is that the investigators and the legal team actually believes that one of the major points that could have actually possibly been ignored by, in fact, the trial judge, though it would be clear only after the reading of that particular judgment, is that there is a specific paragraph as far as Vijay Mandanlal Chaudhary judgment, which is said to be the touchstone of the Enforcement Directorate is concerned. The paragraph 382.8 completely goes on to suggest that the Enforcement Directorate can actually initiate an investigation based on a private complaint, and it can actually happen. And this is a judgment that has been rendered by the topmost court of the country, though under challenge, but is not stayed, and that is something why it acts as a precedent at this particular point of time, and that is something that could possibly been ignored by, in fact, the trial judge, though it would only be clear after, in fact, a detailed reading of this particular order actually is done by the legal team of the Enforcement Directorate. So all of that would be considered. The ED's team would actually be seeing and would be taking into account all of these conjectures. They would be going into the kind of reasoning that the judge has given out, and then would be filing an appeal as far as this order passed by the Rouse Avenue Court is concerned. So how soon would that happen is something that we are not sure of, but definitely it will be happening, and the Enforcement Directorate would be challenging this particular order before a higher court itself.
Madanlal Chaudhary judgment that you've just mentioned, and that was also something that the ED is looking at to further go ahead and challenge this particular verdict by the Rouse Avenue Court. The broad powers under prevention of money laundering that the ED has per that judgment, if you could just lay down that for our viewers.
Well, absolutely. I can actually read out that particular portion of, in fact, the Vijay Madanlal Chaudhary judgment, and it is, in fact, para 382.8, which goes on to say that offence under Section 3 of the 2002 Act is dependent on an illegal gain of property as a result of criminal activity relating to a scheduled offence. It is concerning the process or activity connected with so and so. The authorities under the 2002 Act cannot prosecute any person on notional basis or on the assumption that a scheduled offence has been committed unless it is so registered with the jurisdictional police and or pending inquiry, trial, including by way of a criminal complaint before a competent forum. If the person is finally discharged or acquitted of the scheduled offence or the criminal case against him is quashed by the court of the competent jurisdiction, there can be no offense of money laundering against him. Also, basically, a private complaint can actually be a basis, is what in fact this particular paragraph of the Vijay Madanlal Chaudhary judgment goes on to say. Though very categorically, this is in fact the investigators also say, and the sources that have revealed to us that an appeal would be filed very clearly say that, you know, this is in fact a complaint. This is not an ordinary complaint. It's a private complaint upon whom a cognizance was already taken by a court, and that is something that makes this complaint much higher in value, and that is why this ground could be one of the major grounds as far as the challenge to this particular order is concerned. Griya.
Right, do stay on with us, Ananya. We also have Anshul now joining us on the broadcast. Anshul, very many reactions have begun pouring in after this verdict from the Rouse Avenue court, particularly from the Congress party. They have gone on to call this case politically motivated prosecution by the Modi government. And I'm just reading out the tweet that Supriya Srinath has put out after this verdict from the Rouse Avenue court. The responses so far that you see coming in as far as the political spectrum is concerned.
Well, yes, the Congress party is definitely taking this entire issue as a shot in their arm at this point in time. And they are saying that, yes, this is a victory that they have been able to get. But top sources in the Enforcement Directorate has told CNN News 18 that this is just a technical issue at this point in time. And the Enforcement Directorate is willing to now wait for the initial charge sheet to be filed by the Economic Offences Wing of the Delhi Police, and then eventually going ahead and filing their prosecution complaint in this entire matter. This is just a small breather to the Gandhi family, is what the Enforcement Directorate believes at this point in time, because the evidences that the ED has and the money trail that has already been established are actually very substantive in nature, and this is nowhere going to hamper the investigation. This is just going to delay the proceedings of the case at this point in time. So within a month's time, we can yet again expect the Economic Offences Wing of the Delhi Police to file a charge sheet into this entire matter, and it's at that point that the Enforcement Directorate will yet again file a prosecution complaint. But as Ananya is bringing through to us through the legal sources, that this order will also be challenged, and it remains to be seen what kind of verdict will come out. Will the court be able to accept this argument that this is a prosecution?
Anshul, do stay on with us. We have Mr. Manikam Tagore of the Congress party who is now joining us on the broadcast. So thank you so much for joining us. This particular respite that the Congress party, particularly the Gandhis, have got from the Rouse Avenue court, how are you looking at it now that we're also learning that the ED is planning on challenging this verdict, sir?
Truth has prevailed, and the malafide and illegality of the Modi government stands exposed now. It is very clear that proceedings of the ED against the Congress leadership, particularly Mr. Sonia Gandhi ji and Rahul Gandhi ji on the Young Indian case, have been found completely illegal, malafide by the Honorable Court. The court ruled that ED's case is without jurisdiction, justification. It has no FIR, without which there is no case. This politically motivated prosecution by the Modi government over the last decade of the principal opposition party stands exposed before people of India. Congress party and our leadership is very clear that we will fight it out. And we all know that those officers who have done this kind of things, filing these cases, on whose direction they have done it. Who was the person who has directed them to do this thing is very important thing. This is a severe case of misuse of power, and Modi and Amit Shah are doing this kind of big chant. We will never allow it, and today the courts has slapped them, and the ED has become an organization which has become falsehood and lies. And justice has prevailed, and we salute the judicial system and the honorable judge for giving the justice for Gandhis. Okay, Mr. Tagore, but we're also learning that the ED is planning on relooking at the case. They're planning on challenging this entire verdict. They have claimed the Vijay Madanlal Chaudhary judgment, which in fact eventually gives these overarching powers to the Enforcement Directorate when it is about the prevention of money laundering case. What do you make of all of these developments that are coming to fore now? The ED officials who are doing this kind of misinformation must be punished. Special court has rejected ED's complaint in the National Herald case. Court has held that ED could not have initiated money laundering investigation without an FIR. Therefore, rejected the ED's complaint. We have to understand that officers who have illegally harassed Mrs. Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi should be charged. We will never leave those officers who are behind these things. Those ED officers will not be spared. We will never leave them.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Gore, for joining us and sharing your views on this developing story that we are bringing for our viewers. Let's take a look at some more reactions coming in.
प्रमोदी, सबसे पहले आपका क्या रिएक्शन है जो नेशनल हेरल्ड को लेके कोर्ट ने कहा है?
सत्य मेव जयते, सत्य की विजय हुई है। इतिहास देख लें, जब अंग्रेजों की फौज में भर्ती होने की शंखनाद कर रही थी भाजपा का मातृ संगठन, और आजादी की लड़ाई गांधी नेहरू लड़ रहे थे, उनके नेतृत्व में कांग्रेस लड़ रही थी, उनकी आवाज तब नेशनल हेराल्ड बना हुआ था। नेशनल हेराल्ड स्वतंत्रता संग्राम सेनानियों की आवाज को उठा रहा था। उस अखबार पर, उस सोनिया गांधी पर जिसने प्रधानमंत्री पद ठुकराया, राहुल गांधी पर झूठे, घटिया, अस्तरहीन आरोप लगाए गए थे। आज इतना जन्नाटेदार तमाचा पड़ा है मोदी सरकार पर, जिसने ईडी का दुरुपयोग किया था। सत्यमेव जयते।
And on that note, we go into a very short break. News and updates continue on CNN News 18.
This is News 18 Network. India's largest news network.
Story that we are tracking is, of course, the deportation of the Luthra brothers. As we speak, a team of officials from Central Bureau of Investigation and Indian Embassy are there at the Bangkok airport to ensure deportation of the Luthra brothers. They're expected to land here in Delhi post-noon, and after that, Goa police will take custody.
Okay, and staying with the big story that we have been tracking, that is the return of the Luthra brothers, finally should be facing act as far as that fire in a Goa pub. And there's a quick update which is coming in. Visuals are also coming in first over here on CNN News 18. The Luthras have deported from Bangkok. They've already boarded the flight to India. So that is the big story. Going to land here. They are going to be taken into custody and after that presented in court. In fact, as we go through those pictures, I'm going to be joined in by my colleagues Anvit as well as by Simran. Anvit, if you are with us at this point, Anvit, if you are with us at this point of time, can you just run us through the details? The flight has already been boarded by the Luthra brothers. How soon can we expect them? What happens thereon? Anvit, if you can hear me. Okay, I'm going to try and go across to Anvit and Simran in a bit, and this is exactly what we have been following after days and days of suspense and much speculation. Well, it's very clear the Luthras are going to be facing the law. They had run away in the wee hours of the morning, even as the fires were being doused at that nightclub in Goa, and now the team was there, and now they are coming back. They are being deported back. Okay, Ananya is now joining us with all these details. Ananya, they're going to be landing. How soon do we expect that? What's the legal procedure after that?
Well, absolutely. In fact, the Luthra brothers whose a formality for the deportation from, in fact, silent has just been completed yesterday, will now be brought back to India. Remember that they are facing flag for, in fact, the Goa fire. They'll also be facing the consequences as per the law. But the deportation was complete yesterday, which would start at around 10:55 a.m. in the morning as per the Indian Standard Time. And these brothers would now be brought back to India. And that is something, that becomes very, very crucial, because as soon as they land in the national capital, they will be taken to inside.
Welcome back. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Greha. Let's now shift focus to Bihar, where there has been a massive controversy that has erupted after the Chief Minister of the state, Mr. Nitish Kumar, was seen pulling down a Muslim woman's hijab. And this is a doctor. Her hijab, the niqab, was put down during an appointment letter event that was taking place in Patna. And that viral video shows shocked officials and also the Deputy Chief Minister intervening, triggering outrage over the conduct and cultural sensitivity at a government function. Opposition has slammed Nitish Kumar, questioned his mental state even.
मेरा नहीं बल्कि पूरे देश की जनता का खून खोल उठा होगा यकीनन। नीतीश कुमार एक प्रोग्राम में एक महिला के नकाब को खींचते हुए नजर आ रहे हैं। आप एक तरफ महिलाओं के सम्मान की बात करते हैं और दूसरी तरफ आप एक कार्यक्रम में महिलाओं का अपमान कर रहे हैं। पूरे देश की जनता से माफी मांगनी होगी। इस पर प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी को भी एक्शन लेना चाहिए और ऐसे नेताओं को अपनी हरकतों से बाज रहना चाहिए।
देखिए, ये मैं शब्दों पे बखान नहीं कर सकती। वो बुजुर्ग हैं लेकिन ये बर्दाश्त के काबिल नहीं है। आपने एक महिला का जिस तरफ से हिजाब को, मैंने भी वीडियो देखा, हटाने की कोशिश की, ये बहुत शर्मनाक है, बहुत शर्मनाक है। और अगर एक महिला होने के नाते ये आप किसी का हिजाब या सोचिए कि कोई दुपट्टा ओढ़ा हुआ है, आप उसको हटा रहे हैं, तो ये बिल्कुल बर्दाश्त के काबिल नहीं है। और मुझे लगता है कि इसमें हम लोग क्या ही कहें। उनको खुद पे अगर ग्लानि हो तो उनको खुद रिजाइन देना चाहिए। ये महिलाओं का बहुत बड़ा अपमान हुआ है।
And the controversy doesn't stop. We are getting few more updates. This time it is over a BJP leader's post. He's posted an old video of senior Congress leader Ashok Gehlot pulling the gungat of a lady, saying that why has Congress not bothered when the gungat was pulled down. So remember, it does seem like an affront to injury, something which has been rather controversial and shocking, that has come in from Bihar, where the Bihar Chief Minister Nitish Kumar was seen pulling the niqab of a woman who sports a hijab, a doctor in this particular case, and that video critiquing him has been going viral. A counter to that has come in from the alliance partner of Nitish's party, BJP, where BJP leaders now put up this image of Ashok Gehlot, old video of Ashok Gehlot, where he's seen, in fact, speaking to a woman in a ghungat, where they are claiming that Mr. Gehlot pulled down the ghungat of this woman and the Congress was not outraged back then. My colleague Arunima is joining us with all the latest. Arunima, what is this discourse looking like from here on? We did think that there is going to be some criticism that will be coming Nitish's way, but it seems like BJP is choosing to add affront to injury already.
See, Nitish Kumar's video was being slammed by the Congress party, by the RJD and the other opposition members in Bihar. A lot of them had tweeted, come out on social media and given soundbites to say that this was insulting the woman. This was almost same level as outraging the modesty of a woman. So now the Bharatiya Janata Party is hitting back. Rajyavardhan Singh Rathore has put out this other video of Ashok Gehlot where he's seen asking a woman to remove the ghungat. So what BJP is asking is that you had no objection when you asked a woman to remove her ghungat, but you are claiming that modesty has been outraged when the niqab is being pulled down. However, those who are criticizing Nitish Kumar are pointing out to the word consent, that be it the veil, be it the burqa, or be it the niqab, it's the consent of the woman which matters. The fact that the woman, the Ayush doctor in the case of Nitish Kumar, she appeared uncomfortable has been also highlighted by some social media users. But the Bharatiya Janata Party is saying that there was no outrage when the ghungat was removed. Every time ghungat is in the domain of debate, you see that as a weapon of patriarchy. But when we are asking women to be rid of their burqa or their niqab, then that is being seen as outraging the modesty or making it sound as if it is an attack on a religious belief. Bharatiya Janata Party's counter is this.
After this particular video, any responses from the Congress coming in, Arunima?
Not yet. This video has just, been put out in the public domain. So we'll have to wait and see how the Congress party reacts to it. But they've definitely lambasted Nitish Kumar. And once again, Nitish Kumar's video has been used to draw parallels to his mental health, saying, does this really show that he is not in sound health? If you recall, that was used by Congress and the RJD in the run-up to the Bihar polls as well. whether he was mentally agile, he was mentally fit. But we are still waiting for Congress to tell us whether they have any comments about the Ghungat video that has been put out.
Right, thank you so much for that, Arunima. We are getting more updates on this story that refuses to die down, and this time it is Union Minister G. Kishan Reddy defending Nitish Kumar's hijab move, where he's claimed, and I'm quoting, that this video shows positive intent and there is no need to create a controversy. That is Union Minister G. Kishan Reddy coming out in support of Nitish Kumar over the flack that he has been receiving of pulling a niqab of a woman who sports a hijab down.
नीतीश कुमार का एक वीडियो वायरल हो रहा है हिजाब हटाने को लेकर, विपक्ष लगातार सवाल खड़ा कर रहा है।
नहीं, ये नीतीश कुमार जी एक बुजुर्ग आदमी है, सीनियर पॉलिटिशियन है, एक प्रेम से फोटो उतरो ऐसा इसके विषय पर पूरा हिजाब हटाया नहीं, थोड़ा फेस दिखना चाहिए उनका, वो लड़के का फोटो आना चाहिए, उनका इच्छा था, इसी दृष्टिकोण से हटाया, मगर दूसरा दृष्टिकोण से वो हटाया नहीं। वो लड़के का फोटो आना चाहिए मुख्यमंत्री जी के साथ, इसमें एक पॉजिटिव दृष्टिकोण से वीडियो में वही दिखता है, इसको इश्यू बनाने के कोई मतलब ही नहीं।
Arunima continues to be with us. Arunima, is this going to help Nitish Kumar's case at all? Because in this visual that is going viral now on social media, the lady looks visibly uncomfortable, and this entire move of without consent, like you have been highlighting earlier as well, Nitish Kumar reaching out for her niqab and pulling it down rather violently is not going to go down well with many.
Yes, so if you see the video, this video is of event that was going on at the Chief Minister's residence. This was at Nitish Kumar's residence, where the employment certificates were being given out to Ayush doctors. The lady in question is also somebody who's a doctor. She has just completed the degrees and the formalities for Ayurveda, Unani and homeopathy doctors, and she was being given an employment certificate. When the Chief Minister first points to her veil and then goes ahead and pulls it down. People seen in the background are all laughing, but the lady in question appears visibly uncomfortable. So while there have been a lot of debates on whether veils of any kind are a symbol of patriarchy or not, consent, I think, is the key word that people are highlighting. However, in the absence of any formal complaint, and now she's a government employee, like I just pointed out, she was being given the employment certificate as an Ayush doctor. So can a government employee really go ahead and complain against the sitting chief minister? That's a double whammy. So in the absence of a complaint, all of this is only pure politics. And JDU has not reacted officially so far. They are hopeful that this will die down. But today, at least, the Bharatiya Janata Party is coming out and making this a case. You heard G. Kishan Reddy saying that, you're creating an unnecessary issue. There are some Nitish Kumar supporters who have said that he's being a fatherly figure who's discouraging a young woman from hiding her face behind the veil. But all of this is not going down well with Nitish Kumar's critics. JDU definitely hopes that this controversy will die down on its own in the absence of any formal complaint.
Right, Arunima, thank you so much for joining us with all the latest. Let's take a look at some more reactions on this story coming in.
मेंटल ठीक है कि नहीं है, वो स्वस्थ है कि नहीं है, क्योंकि हम लोग को पता है अगर शरीर भी हमारा है, बॉडी भी अगर हमारा है, तो कभी कभी उसको भी कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स आते हैं। इनका मेंटल हेल्थ कैसा है, उनका मेंटल हेल्थ पहले टेस्ट कराना चाहिए। हिजाब जो है वो उनकी मुस्लिम धर्म से रिलेटेड है। मुस्लिम महिला हो या हिंदू महिला हो या कोई भी रिलीजन की महिला हो, महिलाएं हमेशा महिला होती है, महिला हमेशा पूजी जाने चीज होते लायक होती है। आप किसी भी महिला, किसी धर्म, किसी जाति की महिला के बॉडी को टच नहीं कर सकते।
से भी उचित नहीं है और ऐसा प्रतीत होता है कि माननीय मुख्यमंत्री जी कहीं न कहीं मानसिक रूप से स्वस्थ नहीं है। इसके पूर्व भी 1-2 घटनाएं उनकी हुई है और इसलिए मैं समझता हूं कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी ऐसे पहले भी उन्हें यूज किया है, आज भी उन्हें यूज कर रहे हैं, लेकिन साथ ही साथ एक सार्वजनिक जीवन में कोई व्यक्ति हो और किसी के एक आस्था जिसे कर ले, एक परंपरा कर ले और कि महिला है, उसके साथ इस प्रकार के व्यवहार कहीं से भी उचित नहीं, वो निंदनीय है।
With that, we're shifting our focus. Over 350 players and just 77 slots and sky-high stakes. As all the 10 IPL franchises assemble in Abu Dhabi for the 2026 mega auction, expect fierce bidding, bold strategies and big names like Green, Livingstone and Pathirana in focus. Take a look at this report that's been filed ahead of the IPL auctions.
More than 350 players will enter the auction pool when all 10 franchises gather in Abu Dhabi for the Indian Premier League 2026 mini auction on Tuesday. With only 77 slots up for grabs, the stakes could not be higher. From explosive all-rounders to specialist bowlers, several high-profile names are expected to dominate proceedings. Here are 5 players likely to attract massive attention and trigger bidding wars. First up, Cameron Green. Cameron Green is said to be one of the headline acts of the IPL 2026 mini auction. The Australian all-rounder sat out the 2025 mega auction due to injury but returns fully fit and in strong demand. Green offers balance with both bat and ball. In 29 IPL matches, the 26-year-old has scored 707 runs and picking up 16 wickets and represented the Mumbai Indians and the Royal Challengers Bengaluru. Liam Livingstone. England's Liam Livingstone brings proven T20 pedigree and versatility. Renowned for his brutal stroke play, Livingstone has played 49 IPL matches for Punjab Kings, Rajasthan Royals and RCB. He has amassed 1,051 runs and chipped in with 13 wickets. His 6-hitting range, experience and part-time bowling add significant value to any middle order. Mathisha Pathirana. A rare fast bowling talent, Mathisha Pathirana has already carved out a reputation as a death overs specialist. With 47 wickets in 32 IPL matches, all for CSK, the Sri Lankan pacer is expected to spark a fierce battle with the 5-time champions likely to go all out to re-sign him. Ravi Bishnoi. Among Indian spinners, Ravi Bishnoi stands out as a reliable and fearless option. Featuring in 77 IPL matches for Punjab Kings and Lucknow Super Giants, Bishnoi has claimed 72 wickets. His pace through the air, sharp googlies and composure under pressure makes him an effective middle overs enforcer. Jamie Smith. England wicketkeeper batter Jamie Smith enters the IPL auction as an exciting prospect. With 1,687 runs in 97 T20 matches at a strike rate of 144, including 950s, Smith's aggressive intent allows him to bat at the top or bolster the middle order. With limited slots and big decisions to be made, the IPL 2026 mini auction promises high drama and bold calls. One decisive bid in Abu Dhabi could redefine a franchise's fortunes for the season ahead.
Hello and welcome. You're watching CNN News 18 with me, Hem Kaur, and here's a look at what we are tracking for you at this hour. End game for the Luthras, owners of the Goa's Birch Club, Saurabh and Gaurav Luthra en route India to face the law. Delhi Chief Minister Rekha Gupta greeted with AQI chants during Messi's event as smog engulfs the capital. Big win for Gandhis in the National Herald case after Delhi court refuses to take cognizance of the prosecution complaint against the Gandhis, allows ED to continue to probe. Top ED sources also tell CNN News 18 that the central agency is likely to challenge the order granting relief to Gandhis after detailed assessment of the Delhi court verdict. Storm over the renaming of Manrega bill turns into Hindi imposition row, with DMK now opposing the nomenclature of the bill in Hindi. AIDMK counters DMK claim, says several central schemes named in Hindi implemented in the state. Election Commission publishes West Bengal draft electoral roll. Data shows 58 lakh detentions statewide. India bloc allies break ranks on vote chori. Jung Congress's claim. Supriya Sule backs EVMs. Umar Abdullah calls it Congress's choice. Nitish Kumar sparks outrage after video shows him pulling down hijab in Patna. Opposition terms the act despicable and vulgar. All right. Now, the Election Commission of India, it has released the draft electoral rolls for West Bengal following the contentious month-long special intensive revision process, including a list of names proposed for exclusion. While the ECI has not released the list of voters excluded, around 58 lakh names are likely to be removed from Bengal's electoral rolls. So this is what the latest that we are getting right now. All right, so this is where things stand right now. There's a huge storm over SIR, as you know, the number of voters in 2025. Let's just bring you the numbers here to get you a clearer picture where things stand. So the number of voters in 2025 was around 7 crore 66 lakh 37,529. Now that's where things stand. Number of voters in the draft list is 7 crores 8 lakh approximate voter names which have been deleted, and the deleted voter names that we're talking about stands at about 58 lakhs. So you can see the numbers on your screens right now, and this is the revised electoral draft roll which is being published right now. So that's where things stand. So for more on this, we also have with us Kamalika Sengupta. Kamalika, thank you so much for joining us. I want to begin by asking you what your assessment of this is. Of course, the draft roll is out.
See, first let me tell you 2-3 things which is very important for the viewers, and definitely for the viewers who are from West Bengal also. Right now, is the draft roll out? Yes or no? The draft roll is out in a way that if you are a voter of West Bengal, then you can give your voter ID card number in this ECI website, CO website, and you can check whether your name is there or not. But the entire more than 7 crore voters, what is the status? That entire draft rolls PDF, it will come in a PDF format, that will be out in a while. It may be 12, it may be a little late to that. That's what we are getting it from the ECI sources. And now the data which we are showing, these are all according to the last form that was submitted on the last day of enumeration. That means the 11th. So the draft roll, approximately what we are coming to know is that when this PDF will come out, that point of time, it is more than 58 lakh voters whose names will be deleted, out of which 24 lakhs are dead voters. And there are various malpractices, various mysterious, I'll not say malpractices, there are various mysterious stuff that is being seen. Like, you know, we did stories that people of 15 years of age became father. There are discrepancies of fake voters. There are problems in duplicate voters. All those things will be, people who are doubtful voters, they will be called for hearing. So right now, with the present data which we have, approximate data which we have, here we can say that there are large number of deletion from the bordering states, large number of deletion from a district called South 24 Pargana, which is also a bordering district, which a district called North 24 Parganas, which is one of the largest district with 33 constituencies. So, and we know that the linkage, like the comparison between 2025 and 2002, there is the mapping problem was mostly seen in North 24 Pargana. We have done ground reports also. So basically till now, as a draft roll, a little more than 58 lakh will be deleted. Now after hearing, this number may rise because there are a lot of voters, lot of enumeration forms where there are a lot of questions. Near about 1 crore forms are like this, 1 crore voters' names are like this, where they are fishy, So definitely this is going to be what that is going to come out. What we are coming to know is that the Chief Electoral Officer will do a press conference, then they will call up all the political parties. Trinamool Congress saying valid voters' name, if they gets deleted, then they are going to take it to everywhere. Take it to the streets, to the courts, everywhere. BJP is saying that with the hearing, more names will be deleted, and the hearing process has to be with central forces and security. I just want to show another thing. Today, the draft trial will come out, and you can see that huge contingent of police is deployed outside Election Commission office. As we know that there has been problems earlier with the BLOs coming here and protesting, today there is a huge arrangement of security out here in the Election Commission office. One thing is very clear, it's winter time, but the political temperature of Bengal is shooting up with the SIR draft roll coming out in a while.
All right, Kamalika, thank you so much for that. Now, for more on this, we're also being joined by Mr. Subir Bhaumik, senior journalist. Thank you so much for joining us. Of course, I want to come to you on this and ask you what your assessment of this is. Do you see this as the cleanup process it's being touted as?
Note, I may become a victim of this cleanup process. You know why? And this is where there's a huge loophole which I don't think has been addressed. Now, I moved to Calcutta and then settled down here in the course of my BBC job in the late 1990s. In 2002, my name does not figure in the intensive revision which was done in 2002. My parents were from Tripura, which is an Indian state, is very much part of India, but certainly not West Bengal. So they have no legacy. I cannot produce any legacy